So let's get back to the stories. I'm pleased to introduce to you Nicholas Lajoie, the 2014 Mitchell Scholar from Van Buren. Last year, Nick was recognized for his interest in pursuing a STEM career as a Reynolds Kerr Pioneer Scholar. This summer, he put that interest in computer science to work at Kepware right here in Portland. He's currently a junior at the University of Maine, and we're thrilled that his brother Thomas was selected to be a Mitchell Scholar this year. We're thrilled that his parents are here with us this evening, and please join me in welcoming Nick.
Thank you, Meg. Good evening, everyone. I'm humbled to be here speaking to you all. Thank you for being here tonight and allowing me to share my story. I grew up on a potato farm in Aroostook County, Maine. I spent springs cutting seed, summers picking rocks, and chilly fall mornings digging fresh potatoes from the ground. Having grown up on a farm is something I like to share with just about everyone I meet. And it's true. My license plate even says Spudnik. I share this fact not just because I am proud of my roots, but because I fully believe that my experiences growing up on a farm are what have brought me to this stage this evening. If I may, I'd like to start my story in the spring, during planting season. It starts with the seed, planning, preparation, and a positive outlook on what lies ahead. The time I spent working with my father and grandfather taught me valuable life lessons that have transcended into who I am today. Lessons of hard work, dedication, and patience. Hard work was demonstrated in the harvest mornings that started before sunrise and ended well after sunset. Dedication was shown in the way my dad managed to devote seemingly all of his time to the farm, and yet still found a way to make it to just about every sports game my siblings and I ever played. Patience was learned in the moments when equipment broke down, but also by witnessing the way that my parents were able to work together, particularly when their patience and mine was tested in an unexpected way. When I was in elementary school, my first grade teacher noticed that I was having trouble distinguishing sounds from different letter combinations. It quickly became clear that I had moderate hearing loss in both ears. My frustration grew as my hearing declined in the years leading up to high school. Most people are too embarrassed to ask the teacher to repeat themselves, and I was no exception. Fortunately, with the support and patience of my family and my school district, I was able to continue to learn and grow without any setbacks. By 8th grade, my hearing had stopped declining, and the following year, I acquired my first set of hearing aids. And on that day, I learned that our fridge actually makes noise. My story continues during the growing season, a chance to stretch in the sun, face the rain, and absorb the nutrients that lead to growth. 3 years ago, I made the jump from a small farming town to a booming college town, and it has been some of the most exciting years of my life. The value of my college education is not only defined by my academic endeavors, but also by the challenges I have faced and the close friendships that have helped guide me through those challenges. Many of these friendships were forged through the Mitchell Institute. Each fall, I've attended Mile 1, the Mitchell Institute Leadership Experience, a weekend spent with Mitchell scholars near beautiful Baxter State Park. It is at Mile 1 that I have met some of my closest friends I have today. My friend Bennett, a scholar from Booth Bay, was my cabin mate during my first Mile 1. We got to know each other a bit during the welcome activities on the first night, but I think we really bonded when we woke up in a cabin that was 45 degrees and then proceeded to hike Mount Katahdin. Needless to say, we made sure the heat for the cabin was turned on for the next night. A few weeks ago, I attended this year's Mile 1 weekend, where I got to kayak down the Penobscot River with my friend Connor, document the experience with my friend Bethany, and watch my brother, Thomas, a 2016 Mitchell Scholar, lead a group game around the campfire with his new lifelong friends. It gives me great joy knowing how excited he is to be a Mitchell Scholar, and I cannot wait to see where his college journey takes him. The nurturing of the growing season is not without its difficulties. As a junior computer engineering student at the University of Maine, my college experience continues to throw different and unexpected challenges my way. For example, last fall, I found out that I needed to purchase a new set of hearing aids. The difficulty was that I now had college expenses to worry about, and hearing aids aren't cheap and typically aren't covered by insurance. Thankfully, the Mitchell Institute was there to help me. The Promise Fund is a resource made available to all Mitchell scholars who might encounter an unexpected financial bump in the road that may interfere with college completion. My bump was having to buy these things. Fortunately, the generosity of the Mitchell Institute continues, and I'm very happy to say that I have recently paid off the remaining balance of these new hearing aids much sooner than anticipated, all thanks to some help from the Promise Fund. With the conclusion of the growing season, there is still much work to be done. When the harvest rolls around, a farmer hopes his efforts have produced a fruitful crop. When I leave college, I intend to pursue a career in agriculture technology here in the state of Maine. The dream is to be able to combine my love of technology with my passion for the farm and its way of life. In my pursuit of this dream, there is one final lesson that my late grandfather, Norman Superfrog Lajoie, has taught me, and it is this: you have to wake up with something generous to give to the world. Throughout my life, I have been the recipient of many forms of generosity. When my hearing began to decline, my school made kind accommodations that allowed me to continue my education. My family taught me the value of this education and have always encouraged me as I pursue my goals and aspirations. And it is because of the generosity of all of you here this evening that I am able to work towards and achieve these goals. And for that, I am very grateful. And so I would like to close with this. My story is just one of the many stories that have been impacted by this amazing organization. Each seed is different, but we all share a common bond, the bond of the Mitchell Institute family. Your generosity has allowed us to grow and to help each other grow.
We are pleased to announce
The hard work, dedication, and patience of the Mitchell Institute guides us on our pursuits of higher education and will lead us to opportunities to give something generous to the world. Thank you.